At 1:37 a.m., Mia Carter heard the hotel keycard reader beep 3 times from the other side of her door, and she froze because she hadn't ordered room service, she hadn't called anyone, and the hallway outside room 614 had been dead quiet for nearly an hour. Yet the beep came again, slow, deliberate, like someone was testing the lock. And when she crept closer and looked through the peephole, all she saw was darkness and the faint glow of the exit sign at the far end of the corridor. But the air on her neck still prickled as if someone were standing inches from the door, listening. Mia was in Chicago for a 2-day work training, the kind of trip that sounded normal until you were alone in a hotel room with unfamiliar sounds and a phone that kept dropping calls. And she had picked this place because it looked clean, had decent reviews, and promised secure access, which now felt like a cruel joke. The handle didn't move, but the key card beeped again, and Mia's brain tried to rationalize it. Wrong room, drunk guest, a mistake, until she remembered the odd moment at check-in when the clerk had squinted at his screen and asked, "You're alone?" and then smiled too quickly when she said yes, like it was small talk but wasn't. The beeping stopped, and for 10 long seconds there was nothing, and that was almost worse, because silence gives your imagination permission to run wild. And Mia backed away from the door, grabbed the heavy desk chair, and slid it under the handle as a wedge, even though she knew hotel doors opened inward. Then, she pulled the nightstand a few inches too, not because it would stop someone determined, but because it would make noise, and she needed noise. Noise meant time. She texted her friend Haley, "Someone is trying my door," and the message hung on sending like it didn't want to exist. So she tried again, and finally it went through. But Haley was asleep 3 time zones away, and Mia needed help now. She called the front desk and got ringing that never turned into a voice, like the line had been left off the hook. And that's when she heard it, a soft tap against the door, then another. Not the chaotic pounding of confusion, but a patient, measured knock, and a man's voice drifted through, calm and close. "Hotel security, open up, there's been an issue." And Mia's stomach dropped because he didn't sound like security, he sounded like someone pretending to be security. And when she didn't answer, he tried a different tone, friendly now. "Ma'am, we need you to open the door." And Mia swallowed, forcing herself to breathe through her nose like she'd seen in self-defense videos, because fear makes you sloppy, and sloppy gets you hurt. She kept her voice steady and said through the door, "What's your name?" And the hallway went quiet. Then the voice returned with a slight pause that felt like someone searching for a lie. Jason, hotel security." And Mia didn't know if there was a Jason, but she did know that real hotel staff never asks you to open up at 1:37 a.m. without calling your room phone first, and they certainly don't stand in the dark. She moved to the window, pushed the curtain aside a fraction, and saw the parking lot far below, almost empty except for a few cars and the orange glow of a street lamp. And she had the sudden sick thought that if she screamed, it might not matter, because hotels are full of people who assume someone else will handle it. The keycard reader beeped again, and this time she heard a faint scrape like plastic sliding, like someone was swiping different cards one after another. And Mia realized this wasn't a drunk mistake. This was a person with access, or someone who had stolen access, and that thought made her legs feel cold. She grabbed her pepper spray, then remembered it was in her purse by the bed, and the fact she'd set it down earlier felt like a personal betrayal, so she got it and held it in both hands like a lifeline. And then she did the smartest thing she could think of. She didn't stay near the door. She stepped into the bathroom, locked it, and put the towel rack between her and the mirror, as if the mirror could somehow expose her. Then she dialed 911, and the call connected so fast it made her want to cry, and she whispered, "Someone is trying to get into my room hotel." And the dispatcher asked her location, and Mia gave the address, the room number, everything, but her voice trembled on the room number because saying it out loud made it feel more real. And the dispatcher told her to stay on the line, to remain quiet, to not confront the person. The hallway voice returned, sharper now, no friendliness. "Ma'am, open the door, now." And Mia felt rage flicker through her fear, because who orders someone like that unless they think they can, unless they've done it before? The chair at the door shifted with a small squeak, and her heart slammed because something heavy bumped the door from the outside, testing it, and the nightstand legs scraped the carpet, and Mia pressed her hand over her mouth to keep from making a sound. Then came the worst sound yet, the click of a tool against metal, soft and precise, like someone trying to manipulate the latch. And Mia realized the lock was the only thing between her and a stranger who decided she was worth the risk. The dispatcher said officers are on the way, but Mia knew on the way could be 2 minutes or 10, and 10 minutes is a lifetime when someone is working on your door. She scanned the bathroom for anything useful: hairdryer, metal trash can, the thick glass shampoo bottle, and she lined them up like weapons she hoped she wouldn't need. Then she had a thought that made her skin go hot: the connecting door. Many hotel rooms have a second door connecting two rooms, usually locked from both sides, and Mia hadn't checked it, because why would she? And now she moved quietly, crossing the room with her socks barely whispering on the carpet, and there it was, half hidden behind a curtain, another door, and the handle was slightly turned, not fully closed, like it had been tested, and Mia's stomach flipped as if gravity had changed, because that meant someone had been inside the neighboring room, someone who knew the layout, someone who might not need the hallway at all. She pushed the connecting door shut as gently as possible and slid the bolt. Then she dragged the small dresser in front of it inch by inch, praying the sound didn't carry. And as she did, the keycard reader beeped again, followed by a sudden hard shove that rattled the entire frame, and Mia felt her throat tighten and her eyes burn, but she stayed quiet because she knew something people don't talk about enough. Predators listen for fear. They use panic like a map. The hallway voice snapped, "Open the door." And then, like he'd planned it, another voice, female this time, called out, "Mia, are you okay? It's the front desk. We got a complaint. Please open up." And Mia nearly believed it for half a second because a woman's voice sounded safer, but the words were wrong and too fast and too close together, like a script being read by someone who didn't know hotel procedure. And Mia forced herself to think like a detective, even though she wasn't one. If there was a complaint, they'd call. If it was staff, they'd announce themselves clearly and wait in the light. If it was real, they wouldn't alternate voices like a scam call. Her phone buzzed. A text from Haley finally arrived, "Call me now." And Mia wanted to laugh at the timing, but then the dispatcher said, "Do you hear anything?" And Mia whispered, "Two voices, they're pretending to be staff." And the dispatcher's tone changed, more calm, more focused, and she said, "Do not open the door. Stay where you are. Officers are entering the building now." Outside, the hallway went silent again, and silence is never neutral. It's a decision. And Mia held the pepper spray so tight her fingers hurt, and she watched the gap under the door like it could reveal a shadow. Then she saw it, movement, slow and low, as if someone crouched, and a thin line of light slid across the carpet, like a flashlight beam searching for her feet, searching for proof she was close. And Mia backed towards the bathroom, step by step, staying behind furniture, and the beam vanished. A moment later, there was a soft knock again, polite now, and the male voice said, almost gently, "Ma'am, it's the police. Open the door." And Mia nearly did it, because hearing police triggers relief, but something in his delivery felt off, and Mia remembered a rule her father taught her when she moved out: if someone claims to be help, make them prove it. She called back, loud enough to be heard, "Slide your badge under the door." And there was a pause, then the voice turned hard, "Open the door." And Mia's blood went cold, because real officers don't get angry at that request. Real officers understand fear. And then the lock clicked, not open, but clicked like the latch had shifted, like the tool had found something, and the chair shuddered, and Mia's mind went white for a second as instinct screamed at her to run. But run where? The window was sealed, the hallway was the threat, so she did the only thing left. She made noise. Mia grabbed the metal trash can and slammed it against the bathroom tile twice, sharp, unmistakable, and she shouted, "I'm on the phone with 911." And the hallway erupted, feet moving fast, not towards her now, but away, a quick retreat that confirmed everything. And a second later, she heard distant voices that sounded real, authoritative, multiple, coming closer with heavy steps, and someone called out, "Police department, identify yourself." And the reply was nothing but rushing footsteps and a door banging somewhere down the hall. Mia stayed behind the bathroom door with the dispatcher still on the line, shaking so hard her teeth clicked, and she didn't come out until she heard a firm knock and a voice that sounded completely different from the fake one, controlled and clear. "Ma'am, this is Officer Ramirez with Chicago Police. We're outside your door. Can you confirm your name?" And Mia answered, voice cracking, "Mia Carter." And the officer said, "Okay, Mia, stand back from the door. We're going to use a master key." And the lock opened with a normal, clean sound, and two uniformed officers stepped in, scanning corners, checking the connecting door, and when they saw the dresser wedged against it, one of them nodded like he'd seen this before. Mia tried to explain in a rush: two voices, fake security.